I still remember that moment like it was yesterday. I was 10 years old, sitting in my dad's office. He was trying to help me with math. And I still remember this one point, my dad points at the paper and he's like, "Okay, Philip, what happens when you divide that by 7? And I look at it and I'm like, I don't know, Dad. No, it wasn't even that hard, but my brain just blank. And he says again, "Well, Philip, it is not that difficult. What happens when you divide that by 7? I don't know, Dad. I wish I could say that that happened only once. But there were so many moments in my life where that happened, in school, at university, at work. I had so many moments where I was put on the spot. Someone asked me a question and my mind just froze. And for the longest time, I thought, well, maybe I'm just not smart enough. But here's what I've learned since. How quickly you respond has nothing to do with intelligence. It's about how you handle pressure. How comfortable are you being uncomfortable? And in this video, I show you the 3 exercises that have helped me overcome that and actually learn how to think and speak fast in any situation. First exercise, recovery rep. Now that first exercise is quite counterintuitive, but it's one of the most powerful ways to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Here's what it is. You pretend to black out on purpose. Now let me explain. Let's say you're speaking in front of friends, you're giving a presentation, or you're sharing a story at the dinner table. Now at some point in that speech or story, you pretend to lose your train of thought. You pause, you look around, and maybe you look a little bit confused. We're like, I don't know where this is going. Then say to your audience, wait, what was I just saying? Or where was I going with this? Now, what happens next is kind of amazing. People will immediately jump in and they want to help you. They will tell you, oh yeah, you're just talking about X, Y, and Z. They will start chipping in. And just like that, you can then just keep going as if nothing had happened. Now, why does this work? Because it removes that fear of blanking out. You experience that moment and you realize that actually nothing bad happens. Nobody laughs, nobody judges you. In fact, they help you. And they'll probably like you even more for just being human. When that fear disappears, your brain stops going into that fight or flight mode. So the next time that someone asks you a tough question or for your opinion, well, in that moment, you'll stay calm and your mind will have no trouble finding the right words. Once you stop fearing failure, the next step is to learn how to think and speak freely. Second exercise, the 1-minute nonsense talk. One of the best ways to practice thinking and speaking fast is to speak on things that are a little bit unfamiliar, unexpected, and sometimes just oddly weird. Topics where you don't have the perfect answer, where you can't prepare much, where you have to let go of getting it right. So how do you do that? Well, just set a timer for 1 to 2 minutes, then pick a completely random topic, silly topic like why carrots should be the national fruit, or how to survive in a world of pigeons, or the secret emotional life of staples. Now here are the rules. Don't pause, don't overthink, just keep talking, even if it's completely awkward, messy, and totally absurd. So why does this work? Because it shuts down your inner critic. It trains your brain to keep going, even when things feel uncomfortable, unclear, and unscripted. And the more you practice this, the easier it becomes to speak up in those real conversations, interviews, but also meetings. Instead of shutting down under pressure, you then start to play, right? You start to just have fun. But to help you with that and to help you get started, I've actually included a list of 50 random and I would say slightly absurd topics in the description below. So check that out. Try one today, and you'll be surprised how fast you get better. Third exercise, the pause drill. Last week, I gave a public speaking workshop and I asked the group, why should you pause? They said, it builds anticipation. It helps the audience absorb the message. It makes you look confident. And they're all right? All of those reasons, perfectly fine. But for me, a pause serves a slightly different purpose. It's your moment to breathe, to reset, and get back in control. But here's the problem. Most people, when they're put on the spot, well, they just stop breathing. They hold their breath. Their body tenses up and their brain just starts to shut down. To avoid that, you have to train yourself to pause and actually breathe during that pause. So how do you practice pausing actually the right way? Here's how. First, set a timer or app that beeps, I would say every 20 to 30 seconds. Then pick a random topic like your weekend plans or, I don't know, your favorite food. And then start talking. Improvise for 2 to 3 minutes a story or speech on that random topic. And anytime that timer beeps, well, finish your sentence and then pause. But when you pause, take a full breath in and out. So really, and then you continue. Now I know, at first, this will feel awkward, no doubt. But the more you practice it, the more comfortable you'll feel, the more comfortable you'll be with silence. That's it. Now that you know how to stay calm and actually think on your feet, you might be wondering, how do I say something that actually connects with my listeners? Well, for that, storytelling is absolutely essential. So if you want to tell those unforgettable stories, check out this next video where I share some of my favorite storytelling techniques. See you there.